fix, boy, I bust up. They found a plan to make it rich. Middle finger up, boy, I hate it in this bitch, boy, on my side. Let's get it poppin' like some high fives. I told him fuck the runner, cause I'm trying to catch the top guy. Give it up. This is Coochie Van, no Dooney truck. Say you got the soldier here, and we shoot it up. Niggas always capping nowadays, ain't nothing new. Pillow talking for the hoes, get clapped for acting cool. Pistol packing, double D's, and all these hoes, we in the stew. You move on, bitches popping out just like a zoo.
Well, we're gonna get right into the reactions today, y'all. We're gonna get straight to it. Just wanna make sure everything good. Alright, bet. Alright, so we got the Sugar Baby, the Killer Call Girl. Let's get straight into it. Come on, let me get my chair together.
I don't know, I think my boyfriend overdosed or something, like, he won't respond, and he's just laying on the ground, I don't know.
Ma'am, I have some questions for you. Are you with the patient now?
Yeah, I'm with him right now.
How old is he?
He's 53.
Okay, and is he awake?
His eyes are open, but no, he's not awake.
Is he breathing?
Yeah, he's breathing on and off.
Okay.
She did it. Hold up, y'all know I need. Oh, alright. I need my closed captions.
At the age of 26, Alex Tickleman was an enigma embodying allure and peril. Her captivating Betty Page aesthetics, intricate body art, and reckless lifestyle.
What's up, my guy? What's up? I'm back. I know y'all miss me. Today we're gonna be doing reactions and shit. Probably no gaming today, but I miss y'all. What's up?
Painted her as the quintessential dangerous siren. Startling claims made by local police only deepened the mystery, painting a portrait of a woman both intriguing and unsettling. On the flip side of this shadowy narrative stood Forrest Hayes, a successful executive with a warm family life and sufficient resources to cater to his every whim. Their paths crossed on a warm night in November 2013, and Forrest found himself tangled in the captivating web of the troubled temptress. In this video, we explore a married executive's risky rendezvous with a tattooed vixen. It is a story that epitomizes the interplay between insatiable curiosity, taboo desires, and inevitable catastrophe. Let's dive in. Canadian-born Alex Tickleman spent her formative years in an affluent suburb of Georgia.
She looked like Annabelle. Like, I'm not even trying to be funny. She looked like a less dirty version of Annabelle. Look. You can't tell me she don't look like Annabelle. I don't even know why I'm searching this up. This shit about to scare me. Jump scare warning. Tell me she don't look like Annabelle, bro. Look, Shorty look like Annabelle. Or the Shorty from Orange is the New Black. Hold up. Yo, what's up, Pink? How you feeling? Don't she look like this girl? Hold up. She look like her a little bit. She look just like Shorty right here, bro. Tell me it's a lie. Look at her. Bam. Bro, she look just like her. That's insane, chat. I'm not gonna even lie to y'all. That's insane. But Pink, how's everything going with you? I haven't heard from you in a minute.
She was adopted and raised by Bart and Leslie Ann Tickleman. Leslie Ann worked part-time in retail, while Bart held an executive position as the vice president of the technology firm SynapseSense. Bart was fascinated with poker, and his prowess as a
Yeah, sometimes I be doing Duolingo. I be trying to learn Spanish. I haven't done it in a while. Let me know if I should get back to learning Spanish or another language.
Texas Hold'em player was solidified when he pocketed over $400,000 from the 2008 World Series of Poker circuit in Tunica.
Damn.
Throughout her high school years in Atlanta, Alex engaged in various sports and was a talented writer.
You want me to watch YouTube for 1 week? Like just stream it for 1 week, just straight through? I don't even know if that's possible. I'll be having work and shit.
However, her life took a turn when she was introduced to marijuana at 14 and heroin at 16. When the issue got out of hand, her parents turned to the Hyde boarding school in Maine, which positioned
First of all, how does a 16-year-old even get access to heroin? And you might be like, dang, you skipped over weed. That's because everyone smoke weed these days, bro. Or let me say the correct term, marijuana. Everyone's smoking marijuana. And I'm not trying to influence the youth, but I'm just saying people be doing it, gang. I don't got no problems with marijuana, but heroin is crazy. How you go from weed to the H like that? That's insane to me.
itself as a school devoted to developing self-confidence and self-discipline. With an annual tuition of $52,000, this institution had a reputation for rehabilitating troubled young women. Despite her parents' high hopes, the intervention proved unsuccessful. Alex left the Hyde School at the end of the 2003 academic year and graduated from public high school 2 years later.
I'm not gonna lie, she looked like every high functioning crackhead you see in Kensington. And if you don't know what a high functioning crackhead is, bro, it'd be so many of them, or high functioning addicts. That should be crazy, bro. I knew a few people who I used to work with were high functioning addicts, bro. You wouldn't be able to tell, but once they slip up, bro. It'd be crazy work.
According to her social media accounts, Alex then pursued a journalism degree at the University of Georgia, but dropped out after 2 semesters. Alex moved to San Francisco in 2010, continuing her struggles with heroin. In 2011, she started a YouTube channel under the name AK Kennedy, hoping to follow the success of the prominent beauty influencer, Nikki Tutorials.
Okay, this is the most difficult part. And I have to say that if you are not skilled with liquid liner, then I would just use pencil liner or use a flat brush for applying black eyeshadow. So if I could just find my liquid liner, that would be good.
Alex's channel did not gain traction, and she moved on to other pursuits. On social
Why they diss her like that? Talking about some of her channel did not get traction. That's insane.
media, she described herself as a BDSM fetish model and aspired to carve out a career in that niche. In an article with Fix magazine, she opened up about her experiences within the BDSM lifestyle, describing herself as a submissive. She said she would sometimes allow her boyfriend to lead her on a leash and collar into clubs. She added, "I've always been attracted to the darker side. My parents said by the time I was 3 I was an intense child and already liked horror movies." In early 2011, she met and began to date the 52-year-old Dean Riapelli. He was an entrepreneur and owner of a number of nightclubs. Alex moved into Riapelli's luxury home in Milton, Georgia in 2013. They were openly discussing marriage until Riapelli unfortunately passed from a cardiac arrest later that year.
Damn.
By the end of 2013, Alex was grappling with a serious heroin addiction. She was able to keep her head above water with the occasional modeling shoot, but it was not enough to finance her.
Just Dance 2017. If I could get my Connect working, I'll definitely play Just Dance on stream. If I could get my Connect working. Might have to buy a new one.
The lifestyle and feed her drug habit. So she turned to the world's oldest profession, specifically the internet phenomenon known as sugar dating, which claims to promote transactional relationships, usually between an older wealthy person and a younger person. Alex set up a
That shit is crazy. You could low-key make a bag in this shit, bro. You can make a bag with this, bro. I know someone who did this shit, bro. They was making a bag. I'm not gonna lie to you. Sometimes I'll be like, damn, women really can make a bag easier, bro. But it's also scarier doing this shit, bro, because you never know what these old men be on, bro. Especially if they got money, you never know how much money or what money can do, bro. That shit be scary.
profile
So if you're a sugar baby, please be careful.
on the site seekingarrangement.com, which purports to connect sugar babies with sugar daddies or mamas, ensuring that both parties get what they desire.
Describing a little bit about myself. She's 28, loves cooking.
Babies with sugar daddies or mamas, ensuring that both.
How was my day? My day's actually been pretty chill. You know, I worked today. Worked for a long time. I just got back from vacation, so I'm trying to get over that vacation bug. You know, when you come back from vacation, you don't really want to do anything. You kind of want to go back on vacation. So I'm trying to get myself back into like, you know, working. Also just like, you know, getting back to content and everything. Cause I'm telling you, I want to get to 1,000 subscribers by the end of this year. I'm manifesting it.
Both parties get what they desire.
Describing a little bit about myself. She's 28, loves cooking, sunsets, a typical online dating profile. Until this section. Basically, the allowance you're seeking, I have moderate, which is $3,000 to $5,000 a month. And you heard right, an allowance to date her. Bella, that's not her real name, is paid by suitors who list their sizable income and net worth, so-called sugar daddies, meaning sugar babies, on the website seekingarrangement.com. I'm able to live the lifestyle I want without slaving for it. I'm being taken care of by someone I truly care for, and they're caring for me.
The site's founder, Brandon Wade, is noted for claiming love is a concept invented by poor people.
Yeah.
Wade appeared on the HLN network's Dr. Drew show in 2014 to answer questions and defend his service.
It's troublesome in the way they would use a site like this. But go ahead if you could answer Sam's
Yeah, how are you screening these women to make sure that they are mentally healthy and they are not past trauma survivors?
Well, first of all, it's impossible to screen anyone for that. I'm not a psychologist, and certainly a website cannot do the job of a psychologist, number one. Number two, I think there's a misconception of what Seeking Arrangement or any of these sugar daddy websites is. It's not a prostitution website. It's a website where women can find wealthy men who are going to spoil and pamper them. What's wrong with that? What is wrong with having a wealthy boyfriend who will buy you gifts, take you out, spoil you, pamper you? Every girl wants to meet and marry a rich husband. That's just the nature of our society.
Anahita, you got to get in there. See, it's not a prostitution ring. It's for you.
Yeah, it's for girls like me that want a rich husband, right, Dr. Drew? I mean, I agree with Brandon. I don't think there's anything wrong.
I don't like her voice. It's off topic. I agree with Brandon. I just can't.
With this website, I think it's about individual responsibility.
At the peak of her activity on the sugar dating site, Alex claimed to have a clientele exceeding 200 wealthy individuals.
Damn.
These customers were willing to pay substantial sums for various encounters with her and quickly became her primary income source. One such client was a Google executive and married father of 5 named Forrest Hayes.
Damn. Yo, Pink, thanks, bro. You don't even understand how much that means to see that, bro. I appreciate the belief in me and the high hopes. I'm telling you, y'all gonna be here from. Listen, I just want to shout out to all the subscribers right now. I want to shout out all my mods. Shout out my girl Pink, aka her. You know her name changed, but I still call her Pink. My man's Ralph, even the autistic review, everyone who's been here from the beginning, bro. I just want to say I appreciate y'all because when we go up from there, you know who I'm gonna remember? I'm always gonna remember y'all. Come on, let's get into it.
Originally from Dearborn, Michigan, Forrest Hayes relocated with his wife and their 5 children to a $3 million home in Santa Cruz, California. There, he had a notable career working for Silicon Valley tech behemoths such as Apple, Google, and Sun Microsystems. When he was not working, he enjoyed spending time on his 50-foot yacht, which he named the Escape. Married for 17 years, Forrest was considered a loving father and doting husband. On the surface, he appeared to have every marker of success: wealth, status, family, and career. Yet beneath that shiny facade, there was an underlying restlessness, a nagging hunger that couldn't be satiated. That yearning led him to the Seeking Arrangement website, which is how he met Alex. Like a moth to a flame, Forrest was drawn to the tattooed, non-conforming vixen, perhaps his polar opposite. Forrest initially paid Alex between $2,000 to $3,000 to have dinner with him before asking her to meet him on his boat. 1 week prior to his date with Alex, Forrest arranged a boat encounter with a separate woman, at which time they allegedly used methadone, causing him to pass out. Upon waking, he called the woman to say he was okay. That experience did not stop him from seeing Alex as planned on his yacht just a few days before Thanksgiving 2013.
Yo, this was his downfall. He should have just lived with the fucking his family. Like, I don't understand why wealthy men cheat. Nigga, you got everything. You got kids, a wife. Why marry a shorty if you want to just cheat, bro? Get out of there. You got money. You can pay for the divorce. Come on.
The agreement was that he would supply the alcohol and she would bring the drugs. When the day arrived, they uncorked the wine, engaged in conversation, and started to enjoy the evening. But as Forrest closed his eyes in anticipation of the needle entering his arm, little did he know he would never see the light of day again. When Forrest's wife realized he hadn't come home, she contacted the boat's captain, who found Forrest's lifeless body on the yacht and called 911. Detectives noted a fresh injection mark and 2 used wine glasses but found no drugs or needles. They were left wondering who had been on the boat with Forrest. While the Santa Cruz medical examiner identified heroin overdose as the cause of death, detectives were uncertain whether it was accidental or deliberate. Building their case, they encountered some clues along with unexpected delays. Upon discovering Forrest's boat was newly equipped with surveillance cameras, they approached the captain and were informed the cameras were not working at the time.
Damn.
Turning to Forrest's phone for forensic analysis, they found he had an account on a sugar daddy dating site.
Bro, imagine your husband died and you realize he was cheating on you, bro. That's insane trauma for the wife to deal with. Because it's like, damn, you said that he died, but then again, it's like you angry he cheated. And that's the last memory you're going to have of him fucking cheating on you.
The trail led to messages exchanged between him and Alex, revealing their plan to meet on the night of Forrest's death. This discovery made Alex Tickleman the primary person of interest, sparking an intense search to locate her. Meanwhile, despite the boat's captain assuring them the cameras were not working, Santa Cruz police did their due diligence and reached out to the technology company that set up the cameras. Detectives were surprised to learn the cameras were working the night of Forrest's death, and footage of that evening was available on a remote server.
Oh, shit.
It took detectives 3 months and a court order to get a copy of the video. Incidentally, despite police stating the captain lied about the camera's functionality, which cost them several weeks of investigation, no charges were brought against the captain due to police discretion. Authorities reviewed a 7-minute video from the boat and were able to positively identify Alex. Detectives claim the video shows her injecting heroin into herself and Forrest, who then suffered complications and went unconscious. Instead of aiding or calling 911, Alex was allegedly seen cleaning up, taking the drugs and needles, drawing the blinds, and fleeing.
She's an addict. What you expect? She probably didn't even know what she was doing.
Meanwhile, as the investigation advanced, Alex made questionable posts on social media. One post, dated June 28, 2014, stated, "It's really nice to talk with someone about killing sprees and murdering people in cold blood, and they love it too. No
Hey,
judgment. Yay. Fuck all of that positivity bullshit. Take a look around you. Life is hard, and then you die." After several months of investigation, authorities believe they finally had sufficient probable cause to show Alex injected Google executive Forrest Hayes with a lethal dose of heroin and then watched him die.
It's a nice powerboat. It was a very nice powerboat.
People at the Santa Cruz Harbor only knew the owner of the luxury yacht, the Escape, died on board from an overdose last November. But today, the real story emerged.
We eventually uncovered the video that was available.
Police say they watched surveillance video of 51-year-old Forrest Hayes, the former senior director of Apple's worldwide operations, as he was injected with heroin supplied and administered by 26-year-old high-priced prostitute Alex Tickleman. Hayes was working on Google.
Not gonna lie, her last name throws me off. Tickleman is crazy. I guess you could say she really I'm not gonna say it. I'm gonna let the jokes just simmer down. I'm gonna just be quiet.
At the time of his death, police say Tickleman never tried to help him or call 911.
Yeah.
She was so callous that in gathering her things, she was literally stepping over the body, and at one point stepped over the body to grab a glass of wine and finish the glass of wine.
Tickleman's fingerprints were discovered on the wine glass.
After obtaining an arrest warrant, authorities struggled to find Alex, who had left the Santa Cruz area.
Oh, she
Police
knew what
eventually
she did. She knew what she did. That's crazy. She knew what she... Ew. I just don't like her face.
arranged a sting, posing as a client online. When Alex agreed to meet at an upscale location, she was arrested on charges of second-degree murder, destruction of evidence, and transporting narcotics. She was held without bond at Santa Cruz County Jail. At the initial hearing 5 days later, prosecutors charged Alex with 8 counts, including manslaughter, prostitution, destroying evidence, and several charges related to administering and possessing heroin.
Oh yeah, she gonna. I would be surprised if she doesn't get life or a 20-year sentence minimum.
There are 2 counts of that based on dates of administering or giving away. No, I read it. Thank you very much for your appearance today.
She about to take a plea.
Bail, and then we as regarding our bail remain at the set figure at this time. And it's my understanding that in light of your counsel. Thank you. Any further?
She don't even look like she there.
At the arraignment on July 16, 2014, Alex was represented by attorney Larry Bigham. During the proceedings, Bigham questioned why Alex would kill Forrest when he had been paying her so well. Rather, attorney Bigham said, this case is about 2 adults who were engaged in mutual consensual drug usage in the context of a sexual encounter initiated and encouraged by Mr. Hayes. There was no intent to harm or injure, much less kill Mr. Hayes. Why would she? He was a lucrative source of income to her. To demonize and sensationalize and totally blame Alex Tickleman for his death is misplaced, unfair, and simply wrong. She's like a wounded bird. Alex pleaded not guilty to all charges, and the bail was set at $1.5 million, pending
$1.5 million? God damn.
trial.
Section 192B as a felony is involuntary manslaughter.
Damn.
At a plea hearing on May 19, 2015, Alex avoided going to trial by pleading guilty to involuntary manslaughter, prostitution, and possession of drugs. She was sentenced to 6 years in jail minus time served. She completed her sentence on March 29, 2017, and was released from Santa
Damn. I told y'all she was going to take that plea.
Cruz County Jail, although she did not taste freedom right away. Santa Cruz sheriff's officials immediately turned her over to the custody of Immigration and Customs Enforcement agents the same morning. 9 days later, she was stripped of her U.S. citizenship and deported to Canada, where she also had citizenship.
Damn.
On June 22, 2018, Alex gave her first interview about her case, speaking with reporter Amy Larson of KSBW-TV.
What was going through your mind? What were you thinking when Forrest Hayes lost consciousness on the boat that night and you left without calling 911?
Well, that was my second time meeting Forrest Hayes. And when I first got to the boat, he gave me Valium and we sat down and, you know, didn't even have a full glass of wine and ate some food. And, you know, at that point, he was very adamant about doing the drugs. Despite what police say, we never had sex. He wasn't interested in that. He was more interested in partying. And the weekend
so he didn't cheat.
before I was there, he was actually with a different girl on the boat, and he had asked her to procure methadone and heroin for him. She wasn't able to get the heroin, but she did get the methadone, and they did that together. And he passed out and texted her the next morning wondering what had happened. I also did not know that hours before I got there, he had been drinking and been taking Valium. And though he seemed perfectly sober to me, if I had known both of those pieces of information that I know now, I would have never let him take the drugs. When he
Also, disclaimer warning. Everything I say here is jokes, and I'm not being serious, and I'm not taking sides of anything. Yeah. Just had to say that because I know motherfuckers will try it. Gotcha, bitch. It's all jokes.
fell unconscious, I did try to revive him to no avail, and I was very upset. I was crying and trying to wake him up. And the police said that I was coldly and calmly walking around the boat. And that's not the case at all. I was in a complete panic. And in that world, you know, with seeking arrangement, discretion is the most important thing. And I did know that he was a married man, though it was not the correct choice. I was inebriated, as I had, you know, I was on Valium. I had injected myself first. It looked to me like he was still breathing and just looked like he had passed out. I know that in the past I've done drugs and passed out and not woken up till 24 hours later.
That's insane.
And so I figured it was something like that, which was wishful thinking. And, you know, I just wanted to make it look like no one had been there so that I didn't get him in trouble with his wife or the police or his workplace. You know, as I was driving home, I stopped the car multiple times and I was just agonizing over calling 911. But ultimately I didn't. And that's something that I regret every single day, is that I didn't call for help. If I had known that he was definitely overdosing and in immediate distress, then I would have called 911, but I wasn't in the right mind to assess that.
Yeah, she was off that shit.
And,
like, if y'all expect her to not to be able to fucking help this man, she was off that shit herself. Now, if he was willingly doing the drugs, it's like, you can't blame her type shit. It's not her fault he wanted to get lit and do fucking extreme drugs. Oh shit, it's a new South Park game? Hold up, after I finish this, we got 10 minutes of this. I'm gonna react to it. It's a trailer. Title's called. So yeah, I'm gonna react to this right after this. We got 10
something
minutes.
a lot of people don't know is that I tried calling him multiple times in the days after that to see if he was okay, and his phone was off. And so that's really when, you know, I guess I started getting worried. And yeah, I wish I could go back and change what happened, but I can't, and that's something that I have to live with and something that his family has to live with.
So a lot of people are surprised when they hear that you were actually deported by ICE to Canada as soon as you're released from the Santa Cruz County Jail. We've done a few interviews before this one, and you told me you're actually happier now living in Canada. Why is that? How come?
Well, when I was deported initially, I mean, I was upset, primarily just because my immediate family lives in Georgia. But ultimately, I feel safe up here from the police. Everything that happened, it seemed like the police had this hatred.
I'm not gonna lie, chat. I want to get my passport and I want to go to Canada one day just to see what it's like, to see if motherfuckers are really nice or that's a lie.
And anger towards me, though I'm not really too sure why. And I feel like if I had been allowed to stay in the States, I would have been driving one day and been pulled over randomly, and all of a sudden there would have been an ounce of heroin in my trunk that wasn't there before. And I just feel like if I had stayed in the States, that, the police wouldn't have stopped trying to, get those 15 plus years in prison that they initially wanted. So I definitely feel a lot safer up here, that I don't have to worry about them.
During the interview, Alex voiced a suspicion that U.S. authorities had a vendetta against her and might find a way to pursue her. Just 3 days after her interview, her suspicion became a reality after the Fulton County District Attorney's Office made a surprising announcement.
Well, Dan, Aaron, we're talking about.
Yeah, I definitely want to travel to Canada. I was going to drop a vlog because I just was in Puerto Rico. I was going to drop a little vlog, but my piece broke. Look at this shit. The piece broke that I used to transfer my. Hold on, I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show y'all real quick. This fucking piece broke. Look, that shit came clean off, gang. Let me see. It's not supposed to look like this. So now this shit right here, this shit trash. But I got a new piece coming tomorrow, so the vlog should be coming out within the next few days. But I definitely want to travel more. I love to travel, y'all. Y'all don't even understand how much I love to fucking travel. Oh my God. Traveling is it's just so relieving for me, I say once you get relax. You're talking when I'm speaking. I just feel like if you have the chance to travel, yo, please go ahead and travel, yo. I say this every stream or almost every time I talk, bro, but listen, once you get the ability to make your own money and you're adult, travel. Don't let anyone tell you, oh, it's too expensive or you can't do it. You can do it, bro. It's things where you could do payment plans for a cruise. You can go to cheap vacations. Puerto Rico's not that expensive as people think it might be. Go travel, bro. Enjoy life. Life is too short. Think about it. Just travel if you can. And I'm telling you, you will see the world and life much differently once you travel.
In public for the first time with her story last Friday. Today we learned she's been indicted on murder charges in connection to the death of a former boyfriend. And again, it involves heroin.
Damn.
Just days after the woman dubbed the Call Girl Killer gave her first exclusive interview to KSBW via Skype last week, prosecutors in Georgia have announced a grand jury has handed down 2 murder indictments against Alex Tickleman in the death of a former boyfriend.
After Alex's arrest in 2014, California detectives learned about the supposed accidental death of her former boyfriend, Dean Riopelli. In reviewing the coroner's report, they learned Riopelli also died with heroin in his system and that his cardiac arrest was drug-induced. Suspicious of another drug overdose-related death involving Alex, they contacted law enforcement in Milton, Georgia. The authorities there decided to reopen the investigation into Riopelli's death. On June 25, 2018, a Georgia district attorney announced that a grand jury had returned an indictment of felony murder against Alex, as well as charges for providing the heroin which caused Riopelli's death. "53-year-old Dean Riopelli was the owner of an Atlanta club called Masquerade, as well as the lead singer of the shock rock band Impotent Sea Snakes. He was often called the Monkey Man because of the primates and other wild animals he kept on his 21-acre.
I don't know how I feel about the Monkey Man thing. What and other wild animals he kept on his 21-acre property. That sounds like something else, but I'm not going to say it. I'm going to let y'all think it.
Property. As of September 2013, he and Alex were in a relationship of 2.5 years and were considering the possibility of marriage. On September 6, 2013, Alex called police to accuse Riopelli of domestic violence. When officers arrived, Riopelli explained that Alex had become drunk and unruly at his club. She had been baring her breasts and stage diving. He told her to stop, but she threatened to accuse him of assault. A witness corroborated his story and added that Alex had bitten Riopelli's finger, causing a tear.
Ooh.
In the end, Alex was charged with battery and reporting a false crime. 11 days later, she called 911 again to report that she was taking a shower, and when she came out, she observed Riopelli lying on the floor unconscious.
I don't know. I think my boyfriend overdosed or something. Like, he won't respond. And he's just like, oh my god, I don't know.
Still, she sound really fucking high, bro. What the hell?
Hello?
Ma'am, I have some questions for you. Are you with the patient now?
Yeah, I'm with him right now.
How old is he?
He's 53.
Okay, and is he awake?
His eyes are open, but no, he's not awake.
Is he breathing?
Yeah, he's breathing on and off.
Okay.
For the second time in less than 2 weeks, police were called to Riopelli's house. Alex explained to officers he had been on a bender the last few days, drinking heavily and taking oxycodone before he fell to the ground. She then called for help. At the time, Riopelli's death was investigated and considered an accidental heroin overdose. However, many folks have since come forward, including his former nanny, to say that Riopelli was adamantly against the use of drugs.
Authorities are reopening the investigation.
Dean hated smoking, he hated drinking, he most certainly hated drugs. He was a man that was, skeptical to even taking aspirin, let alone heroin. So do I believe that Dean injected himself with heroin? Absolutely not.
Ooh, shit. Did she do it?
The reinvestigation into Riopelli's death resulted in a grand jury indictment of Alex on 4 separate counts, including 2 charges of...
Yo, my guy, Ben Roblox! What's up, man? What's up? I'm sorry if I just screamed in your ear. It's just been a minute since I've seen everybody. I just get so excited.
felony murder. Yet, despite authorities' stated intention to extradite Alex from Canada to face the charges, she remains free as of the date of this video. The status of the charges and any extradition request has not been made public. We have contacted the Fulton County DA's office and submitted a request through the Freedom of Information Act to determine the case's status. When we receive a response, this channel will update you with details in the community section. However, even if the case were still active, the prospect of extradition from Canada to the U.S. would be...
Yo, Ben, it has been a while, man. How you been? No pun intended. No pun intended. I didn't... Oh, man, but how you been, though? For real, how you been,
highly
man?
unlikely due to the complicated nature of extradition between the two countries in this specific case. In the state of Georgia, a felony murder conviction can potentially lead to the death penalty.
Damn.
Canada, having abolished the death penalty in 1998, is unlikely to extradite a Canadian citizen to a jurisdiction that might impose such a sentence. In the 2000...
Yes, ma'am. The stream is going well. We 42 minutes in. I had to get straight to it today.
One case of United States versus Burns, the Supreme Court of Canada ruled that individuals could not be extradited to face the death penalty in another country unless that country agreed not to seek the death penalty in that specific case. Thus,
Whoa, Ben. Are you being serious or are you joking? Because if you're being serious, you may want to get some help. Now, if you're joking, that's some dark humor, my guy. That's insane.
thus, the decision to revoke Alex's American citizenship and deport her to Canada after completing her sentence in the Forrest Hayes case may have inadvertently shielded her from further prosecution related to the Dean Riopelli case. Alex Tickleman, having served her sentence for her conviction in the death of Google executive Forrest Hayes, now leads a seemingly stable life.
You're serious? Yo, Ben, how old are you, man?
Works regular hours and claims to be drug-free and in a committed, loving relationship. Yet, the specter of her past and the unresolved charges in the Dean Riappelli case continue to cast shadows over her renewed existence. The narrative is tangled with ambiguity. In an article by NBC News dated July 20th, 2014, 6 people who knew Alex well were questioned. They all said the Alex they knew was a sensitive...
Oh, you're 17, man? Well, listen, if you have a drunk dad that's coming home every day back from a bar, the best solution I would say is try to get out of there. I know it's hard to just say to get out of there, but any solution, man. If you plan on going to college, try to go somewhere far, if you can. Like, I'm not saying, but listen, if you really do have a drunk dad that's coming home back from a bar every night, try your best to get you and your family out of there, man. That shit, from what I've seen happen to people, parents with like any type of drug or addiction, man, that shit could get real bad real fast. So, first thing, try to get your father help. That's important. If you can't get help, then you're just gonna have to leave him, man. Leave him behind in the past.
Big-hearted dreamer and a sweet girl who turned to sex, drugs, and professional provocation to cope with the pain of her upbringing. On the contrary, authorities in Georgia believe that Alex's involvement in providing heroin, leading to the deaths of both Hayes and Riappelli, suggests a connected pattern of behavior rather than isolated incidents. Is Alex the cold-hearted assassin as depicted by authorities and media, or were the deaths of Hayes and Riappelli merely accidental, the consequence of high-risk activities and consensual drug use? With substantial barriers to extradition, the quest for answers is fraught with uncertainty, and justice for the Riappelli family remains elusive. The Alex Tickleman story, filled with contradictions and complexity, leaves us with more questions than answers, an unsettling epilogue to a tale that continues to intrigue and confound.
Oh, a case update.
I'm happy to announce that just one day before this video was scheduled to be uploaded, the Superior Court of Fulton County responded to our request for more information. They issued us an official disposition concerning the case of Alex Tickleman. As of September 30th, 2017, the case was placed on judicial hold, a legal status indicating a temporary suspension of criminal proceedings due to the defendant's unavailability for prosecution. This corroborates the previously suspected concern about extradition and the death penalty, given that the defendant currently resides in Canada. Interestingly, the Fulton County DA's office announced the new charges against Alex in June 2018, nearly 9 months after the hold was entered, but just 3 days after Alex appeared on television.
Damn. I ain't gonna lie. She's lucky they fucking deported her to Canada, bro. That shit would have been real bad for her.